versus Moore.
In front of my house, and she was gone.
Miss Moore, did you take his clothes and throw them in the mud?
Yes, ma'am, but they were all clothes that I purchased for him.
Listen to me, Miss Moore, that doesn't make any difference.
Right.
You made him a gift, bought him clothes, he had a little fit, you took his clothes and you threw them in the mud. So what did you do?
So when I returned home and she's gone, I proceeded to take her truck that I had the keys to and move it around to the back of the house. So when she came back, she couldn't see her truck. She wanted to know what had happened to it. And I said, when you give me my phone, I will give you your truck. My brother arranged a swap of the keys and the phone, and she would leave the property.
Got the keys, showed her where the truck was.
She walked around the back to get her truck, and I went in the house and got her purse. And on the way outside, I slung her purse in the mud.
And what did she do when you threw her purse in the mud?
She attacked me.
How did she attack you?
She attacked me with arms flaring and no control.
Do you have any photographs of your
Yes,
injuries?
ma'am.
I'd like to see them, please. Did you hit her back?
No, ma'am.
Smart.
I would never do
Really
anything
smart.
like that. Not to mention that this is 2 months after I got shot and almost lost my life, and she still thought
Who shot
it'd be
you?
right.
Shh! Don't look at her. Look at me. Who shot you?
I was a victim of violent crime. I don't know who shot me. I had surgery on my stomach, 8 hours. I'm trying to rehab from that, and
Okay, so Mr. Smooth,
yes, ma'am.
you were messing around while you had a girlfriend. She thought she was your girlfriend.
She
anyway.
thought I was messing around.
Yeah, well, she thought so, and she had the cell phone, and she had the numbers. I have to assume that you were not involved in a monogamous relationship with the defendant, which means she wasn't the only one. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. She got angry. She took your cell phone. You have no right to do that. It's his property. Take it. You're stealing it. You went in and you grabbed her car keys. You're not allowed to do that.
Right.
Then she left, and you went to pick up your
My
daughter.
daughter.
You come back, and you find your clothes in the mud. She comes back. You've moved her truck in the back just to annoy her, and you were successful.
Yes.
Then you take her good pocketbook, and you throw it in the mud. However, madam, that does not give you license to pick up your hands and to strike him and to scratch his face and to act like an alley cat. Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
You are one lucky girl that he didn't have you arrested. Why didn't you have her arrested?
Because I do not dislike Siobhan.
Outrageous behavior.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Says, ex-girlfriend Siobhan Moore scratched his face during an argument.
Oh, you had some scratches and they were treated. You didn't go to the hospital or a doctor, did you?
No, ma'am.
I didn't think so. All right, so you were a little morally wrong, then 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 you got physical. Right? Unacceptable behavior.
Right.
You had no physical injury other than a few scratches on your face. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He wasn't telling the whole story, but oh well.
The proof is in the pudding. I had all the paperwork, the pictures, and I mean, those don't lie.
There wasn't a commitment of us being boyfriend and girlfriend, but monogamy was supposed to be practiced in our friendship.
I feel that we had a lot of good times together, and it was good while it lasted.
We're friends, kinda.
Her provider, Julia Benjamin, and her husband, police officer Michael Benjamin, are suing Julia's aunt, child care provider Elsie Love, for the return of their dog, Fluffy. Elsie says Fluffy is hers.
Mrs. Benjamin, is this your aunt?
Yes.
And you're her husband?
Yes.
According to what I've read, it is your claim that you loaned this dog to your aunt. Now you want the dog back. She says you can't have the dog back because this was not a loan. You gave her the dog. And this is all about another issue that is probably much more important, which has to do with the custody of your daughter, who was, for most of her life, raised by your aunt. And you just regained custody of her, is that right?
No, that's not right, Your Honor.
Well, let me get to this part of the, it's not really a defense, but it's sort of a motive. You were on good relations with your aunt?
Yes, for the most part, yes.
Good. And how many children do you have?
5.
Which child lived with you for 6 years?
The third,
What's the child's name?
Maisha.
How old is Maisha?
Maisha's 10 now.
How old was she when she came to you?
4 months old.
And how long did she stay with you?
8 years.
Was she placed with you by the courts?
She was given to me through her mother.
How come?
Her mother had a drug problem.
So Mrs. Benjamin gave you Maisha. Courts had nothing to do with it?
The courts had nothing to do with it.
Where were her other 4 children?
She only had 3 then. The 2 oldest children were with her aunt, and Maisha was with me.
So far, is that right?
For the most part.
Good. And when was Maisha returned to her mother?
In 2001.
Was that voluntary on your part, or did a court order that return?
The court ordered it with stipulations.
And the stipulation was involving visitation. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
Do you currently have visitation with Maisha?
I have visitation with Maisha on the weekends that I have her. I have visitations from after school until 8 o'clock on Sunday night.
So you have her for weekends, certain weekends?
Yeah, every other weekend.
Now I want you to tell me about the dog. You're up.
First of all,
Not you. Her.
Okay, I asked my aunt. I had a breakout at my daycare center. I'm a family daycare provider. And
Since when have you been a family daycare provider?
since 96,
In what state?
New Jersey.
When did you complete a drug program?
I didn't complete a drug program. I didn't have to. I got clean on my own.
Well, then why did you leave your child with your aunt for 8 years?
Can I address the things that she said?
Well, your child was with your aunt for 8 years. That's
My
true.
child was with my aunt. I asked my aunt to care for her because I knew that I couldn't at the time. I did not abandon my child.
I didn't ask you
I did
any of
not
that.
give
Shh,
my child
shh,
away.
shh. Listen to what I'm saying to you. You had a drug problem. So if you didn't go into a program, when did you stop using drugs? In what year?
I stopped using drugs in 95.
And your child remained with your aunt until 2001. Is that right?
That's right.
And what about your other 2 children? How long did they stay with their other aunt?
Until 96.
And is Mr. Benjamin the father of all 3 of these children?
No,
Is he the father of any of them?
the last 2.
And you were granted a license to take care of children a year after you got clean from drugs?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get back to the dog.
Your Honor, can I?
Let's get back to the dog. When did you give your aunt the dog?
I didn't give my aunt the dog. I asked her to care for the dog in November until we moved.
Okay. And at what stage were the court proceedings in November of 2002 involving your aunt's visitation with Maisha? Were there court proceedings pending?
No, there wasn't.
Were there court proceedings after November of 2002 involving your aunt and visitation?
Yes, in January
January what?
31st.
So I assume that you were contesting your aunt having extensive visitation with Maisha.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
When did you ask for the dog back?
My husband asked for the dog back.
Tell me when you did that, sir.
January 31st.
When you were in court?
No.
When you were outside of court?
Yes.
So you came outside of court after the case was adjourned, and you had this court proceeding that said that this was not going to be easy. And you found her in her car?
No.
Where did you find her?
I didn't find her at all. When I left out of the court, we seen her friend in the vehicle.
And?
So I stated to him that I will be coming over to get Fluffy later on. Now, can I say this? Me and this gentleman has made communication in reference to Fluffy on several occasions. He is aware that I did state to him that at any given time when my 2 daughters, whom I bought the dog for, would continue to pester me about they wanted their dog home, that I would be coming to pick up the dog, and he agreed. And the reason why...
Get your kids another dog.
Your Honor.
Get your kids another dog.
Hold
You walk out of court in a court proceeding where you are clearly losing. You're clearly losing because the judge is going to adjourn the case until February. And you don't want Maisha to have to be bothered with visitation with the person who raised her.
Not true. That's
From the
not
time
true.
she's
Oh,
4
you
months
got it.
old, quiet. Quiet until she's 8. And now there's a visitation proceeding pending. And Mr. Wonderful over here at that time says, we're coming over to get our dog. You gave her the dog in November. November comes and goes, no word. December comes and goes, no word. January comes and goes. That's according to Mr. Benjamin, who is the owner of the dog.
Well, first of all, I didn't finish saying.
I'm speaking.
But I need to be able to say something else, though.
I'm going to let you speak.
Okay.
So 3 months go by, January 31st, at a time when you're coming out of court and you're losing. Then you say to him, and I'm coming over to get my Fluffy. That's what you said.
Yes, I did.
Good. Now I'm going to hear everything that you have to say.
Okay, when Fluffy was given to her aunt by my wife, I really wasn't in agreement with that. I did voice my concern because I did call over to her aunts. I did voice to her how I felt about Fluffy, how my two daughters felt about Fluffy, and that really we weren't happy that Fluffy was with her. But at the same time, you know, if we could just come and visit Fluffy when we wanted to, and if she can bring Fluffy when she picks up Maisha so that he would continue to see us, then I was fine with that. And she agreed. And so therefore, actually, the dog was only brought to my home on one occasion by her boyfriend.
Are we finished now?
No, I'm not. And so actually, he never brought the dog again, so I made several phone calls and talked to the dog on the phone. And that was my only communication with the dog.
Did the dog answer you when they talked to
Well,
you?
basically, I asked for a response from Maisha, who was there, and she said that he did the normal. He would wag his tail, and in other words, he identified my voice.
Perfect.
Your Honor.
Yeah. Now, just a second. I want to be, you know, my middle name is Fair.
Sure.
So I want to be totally fair. Are you finished?
Am I finished?
Yes.
Well, not really.
Listen, Mr. Benjamin, I want you to be finished, sir, before I let Mrs. Benjamin speak.
Well, one of the things I want to say is the aunt had been communicating through my wife, and I had been communicating through her boyfriend. For some reason, the aunt never communicated with me, and probably that's because she knows that she can't say anything to me, and I'm just going to say yes or whatever. But it's going to be a fully understood discussion about whatever the situation is so that we both can be on the same page, and that never happened.
Are we finished now?
Okay, yeah, I'm finished from that point on, yes.
Mark that down. He's finished.
So noted.
Mrs. Benjamin, I'm ready to hear you.
Yes, Your Honor. When I asked my aunt to care for my daughter, I got off of drugs a year after that. It took me an additional year to find housing. When I found housing in 1995, I began asking her to let my daughter come home. She told me no. She needed more time. She was attached. Please don't do this. This is going to kill me. That went on for 4 years. Out of sympathy for her feelings, my daughter stayed there. Any family member?
What? Mrs. Benjamin, Miss Benjamin, you're getting yourself in a very bad spot right now.
I never wanted to go to court.
I wanted to explain something. You're getting yourself into a very bad spot with me and with everybody else who has ever had a child out there. Because if what you said was you let your child live with your aunt because you felt sorry for your aunt.
That's not what I'm saying.
Then you know how to find the courthouse. If what you're telling me is that you were clean within a year and you let your child stay there because you didn't know what else to do, I don't buy it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Let's get to the dog.
Okay. Well,
all right, because there is no excuse. If what you're telling me is you were
my
clean,
daughter could have been home. She didn't want to give her back.
Then you got to.
She never wanted to give her back.
Miss Benjamin,
that's why we went to court.
Mrs.
She
Benjamin,
doesn't want to give
are
the
you
dog
listening
back.
to me? My mouth is moving.
Okay.
My mouth is moving. If you're a mother, and you wake up in the morning and you go into the child's bedroom and the child isn't there.
You know,
will you listen to me carefully? Then you walk inside to the courthouse and you say, I want my child back.
You know what?
Let's
God
get to
knows.
the dog. Let's get to the dog.
God knows, God knows, God knows, God knows, God
Let's
knows.
get to the
He's
dog.
the ultimate judge.
Let's get to the
He's
dog.
the ultimate judge. I didn't even want to come here.
Good.
I didn't even want to come
Good.
here.
Perfect. Case is dismissed. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
I didn't even want to come here.
Keep the dog.
Step out.
I kept this dog. I trained this dog.
God still has the glory, and I just want to say that.
It needs affection. I gave the dog affection just like I gave her a child.
I want to say this. I've been clean. God delivered me. He set me free.
The whole issue is about Maisha, and since they lost the court case, then they went after the dog.
Finance manager Diana Brew is suing her neighbor, homemaker Kathleen Silverberg, for the cost of a bike and harassment. Diana claims Kathleen's boys pick on her son.
Quiet in the courtroom, please. Yeah, this is case number 171 on the calendar in the matter of Brew versus Silverberg. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young men, have seats, please.
Mrs. Brew, according to what I read here, it is your claim that Miss Silverberg's son, one of her sons, would that be you? How'd I know that? One of Miss Silverberg's sons has been harassing your son and damaged his bike.
Correct.
And after he damaged the bike, he said to him, "Give me the brakes off of your bike, because I need them for my bike."
That was another son.
Which son did that?
Brian, the middle
Which
son.
one's Brian? That's you. So after the big one...
The little one, Mark, did the actual damage of the bike.
What did this one do?
He damaged a first bike.
And then the little one damaged the second bike?
Yes, that we bought to replace the first one.
And this one came and took the brakes?
Yes.
Stand up here, all three of you. All three of you, come on. What's your name?
Tom.
How old are you, Tom?
13.
You pick on him?
Yes.
Why?
Because I really don't like him.
You didn't like him, why?
Because he acted kind of weird and,
So he's weird?
Yeah.
Tell me, did he ever do anything weird to you, Tom? Or he just acts weird?
Yeah, he acts really weird.
Give me an example of how he acts weird, Tom.
He keeps saying stuff about abducting little kids, like my brother right here.
Like, what did he say?
He says, "I'm going to abduct your little brother," and then he starts taunting me, so I chase him away.
Tell me how he's taunting you.
He starts, like, riding off toward the direction where he was last seen playing or something like that on his bike.
Now, what did you do to his bicycle? Look at me. What did you do to his bicycle? The first one that he had.
That was not me. That was a kid named Brandon.
But you were there.
Yeah.
So you must have seen it.
Yeah.
Well, tell me what this kid did to the bicycle.
Well, it really all started out that we were all playing a game called Bumper Cars on Bikes, where you just run around, run into each other with bikes. And in the end, it ended up that the tire couldn't really move very well. So
Whose tire?
The tire on the bike that Brandon was riding. That was his bike, or supposedly his bike.
Why was Brandon riding his bike?
Because Devin said he could have it.
Is that right?
No.
Did they just take it from you?
I let...
Stand up. Go ahead.
I let Brandon borrow it so he could go get water at Dairy Queen. And then when I was coming over to see what they were doing, Brandon was jumping on it, and I said, "Get off the bike," and they all ran away. And then his brother came over, and we looked at the bike, and they took off the front wheel.
Who took off the front wheel?
Brandon did. And first thing they did to the bike, they picked it up by the chain and swung it around. And then they...
Who did that?
Brandon did.
So Brandon did. I don't hear he doing anything. Shh, look at me. Miss Brew, don't speak to him. I'm speaking to him. So far I didn't hear that he did anything.
Right. He didn't do anything.
He didn't?
No. Brandon was the one who really did it. I saw Brandon with my own eyes.
Now, what happened with the second bike?
I was riding my bike, and then I stopped to talk to my friend Lewis, and then Mark came riding up on Brian's bike, and he kept ramming it into the frame.
Mark?
Yeah.
Raise your hand, Mark. How old are you, Mark?
7.
Why were you ramming into his bicycle, Mark?
I wasn't.
Who was?
Nobody.
Nobody. You never rammed into his bicycle?
No.
He says he didn't.
He did, because I saw, and he, kept riding up really fast, and then he kept, hitting the frame, and I told him to stop a couple times, and he wouldn't.
And then what happened?
And then it got bent, it pushed in, and Lewis said he could fix it, but I told my mom, and she said no.
And then what happened with the brakes?
Well, Brian came over.
Who's Brian? When?
2 days or 3 days after it happened, and then he said, "I wanted to know if I could look at your brakes and see what happened." And I told him that his brother rammed into my frame and bent it, and he said, "Can I have your brakes?" And I said no, and I said no again after he said the same question. Then he used a tool, and then he got off the brakes, and then...
Why didn't you push him away? You're bigger than he is.
I tried. I said no to him 5 times.
I don't believe you. He had to get off his bike, get the tools, work on the brakes, take the brakes off, and during that time you go into your mother and you say, "Somebody's stealing the brakes off my bike."
My mom was at work that day.
Who was home?
No one was.
My sister is next door.
Yeah.
So why didn't you go next door?
Well, she wasn't home when I was going over to tell her.
What happened with the brakes? Look at me.
I came over to his house. Something was wrong with his bike. He asked me if I would work on it.
I messed around with it a little bit, adjusting the wheel back and forth. And I go, oh, I found the problem. Your brakes are rubbing, so your bike slows down every time the wheel or the rim bends. And he goes, oh, and I go, can I have your brakes? And
Why would you want his brakes?
Because the bike that I had at that time needed the same type of brakes that he had.
Well, why would you ask him for his brakes if all his brakes had to do was be fixed?
It wasn't the brakes, it was the back rim.
Did he tell you how the rim got bent?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said that Mark ran into it multiple times with my bike.
Right.
So I said...
Did you believe him when he said that to you?
Sort of yes and sort of no.
What does that mean, sort of yes and sort of no?
Because sometimes he lies about what my little brother does, and sometimes he tells the truth.
So you wanted the brakes, and you just said, so give me the brakes. They don't work on your bike, give them to me.
No, I said, could I please have your brakes? He didn't answer me the first time. I said it the second time, he didn't answer. The third time, he says, okay. So I took him off his bike and put him on mine. I rode around in the alley for a couple of minutes. And I go, I'm going to go to my friend's house. He goes, okay. And I just rode over to my friend's house. And then I came back like 5 or 6 hours later, and I found out from my mom that he said that I had walked into his backyard and stolen the brakes.
You did?
No.
Yeah, you did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Neighbor Kathleen Silverberg's sons terrorize her boy. She is suing for the cost of her son's damaged bike.
You and your brothers, for some reason, are torturing this young man. I don't know why. Because I don't believe you. Do you understand, young man? I don't believe that you didn't hit his bike. I believe you did that. And I believe you're fibbing to me. Do we understand each other? And just because your brother over here can be a bully doesn't mean that you can be a bully. Do you understand? Now, if he asked you to come by and fix his bike, what kind of nice person goes over and says, well, I can't fix your bike, but I need brakes just like yours. Can I have them? As long as my brother bent your bike out of shape, give me the brakes. I need them for me. You better have a talk with your boys.
I have been.
Well, you're evidently not getting through to them.
But Devin even admitted in front of another adult to me that he lied to his mother about the brakes, that he had given them to Brian.
Your sons are torturing him. Do you understand it?
Yes, and he tortures my sons.
See how many there are there?
Yes.
You see, over here?
Yes.
This one doesn't like him because he's weird. Your two younger sons take their cue from Tom. What?
Would you like anyone very much if they said they were going to go and abduct your little brother?
I wouldn't hurt their bicycle. I would stay away from them. And I would say to them, I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore.
I tried to.
No, you don't. He didn't. He went over to take his brakes off the bike that your little brother had destroyed. And why do you think that they have license to do that, the two little ones? They take their clue from you. Because if somebody isn't being normal, then you stay away from them. You don't take their property. You don't damage their property. You understand? Do you ever hear your older brother talk about him?
Yeah.
What does he say about him?
He says that he's a crackhead, a D-head.
So he says a lot of not nice things about him. You see where it's all coming from?
Yes, but I'm also aware of the fact that he goes around and calls my kids the same name.
In retaliation.
Not when he takes a 7-year-old's bike and hangs it on a 6-foot security fence where the 7-year-old cannot get it. And that's all because he was mad because Brian was not home that day.
Was the bike damaged?
Yeah, the chain broke.
Was it fixed?
Yes, we have...
Where are the brakes for his bicycle?
Brian gave them back to Devin.
Do you have them back?
Torn apart and damaged.
What?
They were not torn apart when Brian took them off the bike. I know because I saw him do it. They were in perfectly good condition. They could have been replaced on the bike, but Devin wouldn't let him near the bike to do so.
Okay, did you take the bike in to have it fixed?
No.
To have put new brakes on the bike?
No, I hadn't even had the chance. When
Well,
he
then
came
you
and
should
did
have the
that.
chance to do it. How much did you pay for the bike?
$65 on sale.
I think you ought to take the bike and have it fixed, and I think you could probably have it fixed for $25, which is what I'm awarding you at a judgment, not the $1,500 that you're asking for. I would suggest you stay away from each other. Did you hang up his bike on a chain link fence?
No.
You didn't? So he couldn't reach it?
It was like a short fence, not a high one.
You can't do that, young man. But you 3 boys have to leave him alone. If he's weird, stay away from him. Period. And they don't want to play with you anymore. Find somebody else to play with.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $25. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Devin is the kind of person that wants to be friends with everybody.
He pushed me down. He made me hit my head on the cement.
He was calling me names and I didn't like it. And it hurt my feelings. That's what made me angry.
He hates me.
Year-old vendor representative Christopher Tebow is suing his former friend, 22-year-old waitress Joanne Cody, for an unpaid loan to bail her ex-boyfriend out of jail. Joanne says it's her ex who owes.
Mr. Tebow, it is your claim that you made a loan to the defendant in the amount of, I believe, $800?
Yes.
The loan was in order for her to secure the release of her then-boyfriend who was incarcerated. Boyfriend's name was?
Daniel Norman.
Daniel. Ms. Cody says that she did, in fact, take $800 from you for the bail.
Yes.
But there was never a loan because she never made an agreement to repay you. Is that right?
Correct. Daniel agreed to repay him once we bailed him out of jail.
All right. Who is this?
That's Dan Norman.
Daniel. I assume you're not together anymore.
No.
Stand up for a second. Just some preliminary questions. Daniel, you have a last name.
Norman.
What were you in jail for?
Myself and a friend of mine broke into a car and took the radio out.
Were you convicted of that charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you receive a jail sentence or were you placed on probation?
Probation.
Now, did you live in one state and
Yes.
were arrested in a different state?
Correct.
Okay. Where did you steal this car? In what state?
Connecticut.
And where do you live?
Massachusetts.
Didn't they have cars in Massachusetts, Daniel?
Yes.
Now, I say that because you were a Massachusetts resident and were arrested in Connecticut, your bail was higher.
Correct.
So in the future, you understand where you have to do business.
Not at all, Your Honor.
Right? Now, who was the first person you called?
I called my grandparents.
And they could not help you with any money?
No.
Had you been arrested before in Massachusetts, Daniel?
Yes, ma'am.
For what?
Operating on a suspended license.
What else?
In Massachusetts, I believe there's many operating on a suspended along motor vehicle lines.
So your grandparents had it?
Correct.
Who did you call?
I didn't call anybody.
How did you get bailed out?
There was a friend that was with me.
Yes?
He got bailed out by his girlfriend, and he called around a couple of my friends to try to put together some money for me.
You didn't make any phone calls?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I was only allowed one.
Okay. This lady is?
Joanne's mother, Elfrida Cody. It's not true. Marion from the court there called up our house and asked Joanne if Joanne could bail him out and loan him $350.
Who called you from the court?
Marion, and a girl named by Marion.
Who's Marion?
I believe she was worked in the public defender's office.
Ah. Daniel, when I ask you if you called and you say, I never called, if you gave her telephone number to the public defender who was handling your case, I consider that you calling.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you give the public defender Miss Cody's telephone number?
I did, Your Honor.
So when you were contacted by the public defender, what did you say?
I said, what are you calling in reference to? And she explained to me, Daniel Norman's been arrested. And I said, how much is his bail? She said, $350. And when I got to Hartford where he is arrested, they told me it was going to be more money because of the fact that he was a Massachusetts resident.
So now we have that cleared up.
Yes, ma'am.
May I say something else?
Sure, you've been doing well so far.
They were boy and girlfriends.
I figured that.
Because one time they went out, she had too much to drink, and he put her in the shower. Because I know his blue car.
That was a little more information than I need. Now you think.
Christopher Tebow says his former friend, Joanne Cody, owes for a loan to bail her ex-boyfriend out of jail. Joanne says the person who owes is standing next to Christopher.
So when you found out you needed more money, what did you do?
I had $1,300 in my savings account. Chris had called me and I was crying and he asked what was the matter. And I said, you know, Dan did something stupid again where he's involved with the cops and it's going to be $2,100 to get him out. I only have $1,300. And he said, I can help and give $800 towards it. And I said, fine. And when we got him out, Dan told him, I will pay you back. Because I feel, why should I have to pay him back when Dan owes me $700 from putting his car back on the road for him.
Who put whose car back on the road?
I loaned Dan $700 to put his car back on the road. So when I got the bails check back from Connecticut, I felt I didn't have to pay because, one, Dan was supposed to take care of this $800.
You see, Miss Cody, what I didn't understand was your math. You put in $1,300, correct?
Correct.
But you got back $1,750.
Yes.
So there's an extra $450, right?
Right.
Why should you be able to keep that?
Because Dan said he was going to pay Chris back the $800, and I put Dan's car back on the road for $700. So
That's a different lawsuit. If you claim a loan to him for something else, sue him. But if you only put in $1,300, you can't keep all that money, that $450. That's unreasonable. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, I see immediately that she's got to give you $450 because she can't make a profit on his jail.
Right.
But why don't you sue him for the other $350?
Because the initial agreement was she could pay me back as soon as she could.
Well, let me ask you this, sir. Who did you come to court with today?
Daniel.
What about dinner last night? Who did you have dinner with?
Daniel.
Who did you have dinner with?
My mother.
Are you following where I'm going?
Yes.
Why don't you pay him back some of the money that he laid out to get you out of jail?
Because the agreement, when I...
Why don't you pay him back some of the money he laid out while you were in jail?
Because Miss Cody already received that collateral money back.
She only received part of it back.
Correct, and I was to pay her the extra $350 the bondsman keeps as a fee.
Did you pay her?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Why not?
Because she hasn't contacted me at all. I have no idea where she is. This is the first time I've seen her.
She's whole now. She got her $1,300. The only one who's not whole now is your buddy that you had dinner with last night.
Correct.
So why don't you pay him back? He's going to get $450 from Miss Cody, leaving a balance of $350. Who should pay that, Bird?
No, ma'am.
Me?
No, ma'am.
Her?
No, ma'am.
Who?
Myself.
Yes, sir! Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $450. You cannot profit. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused.
I'm just glad I don't have to deal with these two jerks behind me anymore.
I'm just glad I'm getting my money back. There was never an agreement for Dan to pay me back.
I haven't seen him in a year. I have to come and see him here. It just makes me sick.
I stopped talking to her because she was always lying to me and I was always catching her in lies.
He was my friend and we were dating and I was in love with him, so I couldn't bring myself to leave him in jail.
She called me up crying that he was in jail. And I just felt bad.
I should have just left him there.
He says 20-year-old Michael Plumley owes for the loss of value to his vehicle due to a drunk driving accident.
How much did you pay for this car, Mr. Bracy?
$58,000.
What did you go like this for? What does that mean? Somebody give it to you as a gift?
No, ma'am. I bought it. I worked hard. I bought it.
And you paid $58,000 for it?
Yes, ma'am. It had a sticker price of $62,000.
You drove a hard bargain. Mr. Plumley,
yes.
How old are you, sir?
20.
You work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Wash trucks, tractor and trailers.
You wash them?
Yes.
How long do you think you have to work to make $58,000?
It'd be an awful long time.
Long time. What kind of work do you do, Mr. Bracy?
I'm a commercial pilot.
So he works hard for his money, right? And because of your actions that day, his car does have diminished value because there was certain structural damage to the car as indicated by both his appraisal and your insurance company. And why should he have to suffer that loss? Fortunately, he wasn't hurt. That's the most important thing. But I understand why you're angry, because this young man was up all night doing the wrong thing, and you and your wife suffered a loss. You want to be fully compensated. I don't blame you. I think somewhere in between the $4,400, sir, and the $900, there is a reasoned amount. You agree with that?
Your Honor, I agree with what you're saying. However, I did see other appraisals of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So there weren't just two different opinions.
You have other appraisals?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll take a look at them.
Okay. As I said, I base my claim on that appraisal.
I know you do, sir, but that doesn't mean that I have to base my response on that appraisal. Sir, let me explain something to you. The general manager of Land Rover is not an expert witness. I accepted your appraiser because your appraiser has indicated that he has been certified as an expert witness in some 25 trials. I believe that you are giving me evidence that is credible. This is not credible evidence.
Your Honor, on the letter that their appraiser sent, it states that he did not see my car. He did not have the opportunity to see my car. He is basing this on never having seen it. He does have the accessories on my car incorrect. He does have the value incorrect of my car because he did not correctly assess the accessories.
Sir, without an expert witness who's able to sit here so that I can ask him questions, I have to rely on these two appraisals. The appraisal from the insurance company gave what you paid for the car, which was $58,000. They gave the retail value at the time, what they perceived as their Blue Book value. They came up with a formula. That's not this. Somewhere in between these two amounts is what I call aggravation money. You got your car fixed. In all probability, it's fixed to your satisfaction. You're still driving it. I assume you're still driving it, are you not?
I'm still driving it, but it's had to go back into the shop 3 times because of the frame damage.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. You have those bills?
No, ma'am, I do not.
I mean, that's continuous and ongoing. Instead of bringing me this, why don't you bring me that? $2,695.85 is right smack dab in the middle between what the insurance company says your loss was and what your appraisers say your loss of value is. That's right in the middle, and that's, Mr. Bracey, what I believe you're entitled to. You should, again, thank your lucky stars that neither you nor your wife were hurt and that Mr. Plumlee was not killed, because despite the fact that it was his fault, you probably would have felt very, very badly. You have any other DUIs on your record?
No, ma'am.
You ever going to have one again?
No, I don't plan.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,695.85. That's all.
Wives are excused. You may step out.
He was compensated for what his vehicle was, you know, repaired, and basically he got a plus by catching a little bit of extra money, you know.
When I go to sell it, I will lose in the neighborhood of $4,400.
It is running, and it is still in the same form that it was in before, you know, you even got in an accident.
I think the lesson for the defendant is don't drive drunk.
Yeah, I don't plan on having.
Commercial pilot James Bracey is suing 20-year-old truck driver Michael Plumlee and his girlfriend, 20-year-old Savannah Taylor, for the loss of value to his vehicle. James says when a drunken Michael ran a red light, he smashed into him.
This is case number 129, Your Honor, in the matter of Bracey versus Plumlee Taylor. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Bracey, you and Mr. Plumlee were involved in an automobile accident.
That's correct.
When was that, sir?
December 14th, 2002.
From what I gather, ultimately, Mr. Plumlee's insurance paid for the damage that was done to your car.
That's correct.
Miss Taylor was a passenger in Mr. Plumlee's car. Mr. Plumlee, on the evening of the accident, was arrested for driving while under the influence of alcohol. Is that right?
No, I was
or
actually...
were you ticketed?
Yeah, I was convicted of...
I didn't ask you what you were convicted of, Mr. Plumlee. I asked you whether you were arrested or ticketed that night.
No, I went to the hospital.
Were you subsequently either arrested or ticketed?
Yes, I was.
For what?
For illegally consuming alcohol under the age of 21.
No. That is incorrect, Mr. Plumlee. When I ask you a question, you have to give me the answer.
Okay.
You were given a ticket for what? I didn't ask you what you were ultimately convicted of, Mr.
Right.
Plumlee. I asked you what you were given a ticket for.
DUI.
For DUI?
Yeah, but it's not actually a DUI. It was like...
No, what is it, an elephant?
No, it's under the age, drinking and driving, under the age of 21. It's under Statute 18 in the Virginia laws.
Mr. Plumlee, you were drunk that night.
No, I had like 1-2 beers.
Are you telling him what to say?
No, why?
Good. Say nothing until I speak to you. In any event, you had been drinking.
Yes, ma'am.
So your insurance company assumed the responsibility of paying for Mr. Bracey's damages.
Yes, ma'am.
Fortunately, Mr. Bracey wasn't hurt. You were. How long were you hospitalized?
3 days.
What kind of injuries did you have?
Just internal bruising.
You were lucky. What about you, Miss Taylor?
I just had a little cut in my ear, that's it.
Mr. Bracey's claim is that despite the fact that your insurance paid for the damages to his car, which was relatively new, lost value as a result of this accident, and you should pay for that loss of value. And that you, Miss Taylor, are also liable because you got into the car with someone who had been drinking. So that's why he's suing you.
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of that part of his lawsuit very fast. The case against you is dismissed on my own motion. You can sit down.
All right.
You have no case against her. I don't know if you have a case against Mr. Plumlee, even though you're pretty aggravated and irritated with him. Let's see. Tell me about the accident itself, just to give me a frame of reference, Mr. Bracey.
On the morning of December 14th, my wife and I left our house and drove about 1.5 miles to the intersection where the accident occurred. I was driving less than the speed limit. I approached the intersection. I had the green light. Mr. Plumlee entered the intersection. He had a red light, and the collision occurred.
Your wife was in the car with you?
My wife was in the car.
Was she injured in any way?
No, she wasn't. We were both fortunate.
Very. What kind of car were you driving?
I had a Range Rover.
What year?
1999.
Okay. You have photographs of the car?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'd like to see them. What happened immediately after the accident, Mr. Bracey?
It was a pretty severe impact. Initially, I thought I'd killed the defendant.
I see his car. He's lucky he
uh,
wasn't killed. Bird.
I checked my wife. We had 2 dogs in our car, and everybody seemed to be okay in my car. I went over to Mr. Plumlee's car, and I seriously thought that I had killed him at that moment or he would soon die. So I got a blanket and covered him up. From there, EMT arrived almost immediately and began taking care of them, and I went back and took care of my wife.
Who was probably pretty shaken up. What about Miss Taylor?
She didn't appear to be hurt. She was what appeared to be in shock, and she was, to some degree, tending to the defendant. My wife went over and told her not to move him, and then she went back to our truck and stayed in the truck for the rest of the...
Now, what time was this?
This was at 8:30 in the morning.
And you were on your way to work?
No, we were out on a family outing. This was a Saturday morning.
Where were you going, Mr. Plumlee?
I was on my way home.
From where?
From a buddy's house. I'd been playing darts all night long.
And what about Miss Taylor?
She was with me.
Is she your girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now I know what happened. He's playing darts and having 1 beer all night. He almost gets himself killed. You got a good smash on the front end of your Range Rover that looks like a pretty decent car, because despite the fact that you caused the kind of damage you caused to his car when you hit it, your car was relatively unscathed. You're pretty lucky. Now, my question to you, Mr. Bracey, is when you accepted the money from Mr. Plumlee's insurance, did they or did they not have you sign a general release?
No, ma'am, they did not. I didn't get any money from his insurance company. They paid the repair shop directly.
So you signed nothing?
I signed nothing.
How do you value loss of value on a 1999 Range Rover, which has been repaired to your satisfaction, because it had to be to your satisfaction? How do you value loss?
Well, I talked to the defendant's insurance company. They gave me a set of criteria that I would have to meet. One of those was to get an independent appraiser to appraise my car both before and after the accident. And I did that.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am. And that appraisal is what I base my claim on.
What happened when you gave this to the defendant's insurance company?
They looked at it and basically disregarded it and offered me a $1,000 settlement. They had another appraisal done that came up with an appraisal of $981.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so your appraisal says that the car has a diminished value of $4,400, and the insurance company says that it's about $1,000. What do you say, sir?
I have no idea how much his car lost value, if it lost value. I'm assuming it did lose value. I wish it wouldn't have happened, but I mean, I know I was wrong in the situation. But I mean, from my understanding, my insurance company did take care of his vehicle. On top of that, offered him $1,000. And I feel that, you know, it's been amended, and it's basically how I feel.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Photographer Jeremy Harris is suing painter Shannon Silva for the cost of a digital camera. Jeremy claims Shannon stole it.
Mr. Harris, you had your camera stolen.
Yes, I did.
And it was an expensive camera. You are a photographer by trade?
I am.
And it is your claim that Mr. Silva stole your camera.
It is.
Mr. Silva says he doesn't know what you're talking about. When was your camera stolen?
On April 18th, which was a Friday.
Where was it stolen from?
From a bar in San Francisco.
Had you ever seen the defendant
No.
before April 18th?
I did not.
Did you see him on April 18th?
No, I did not.
Then what makes you think he stole your camera?
I received a phone call on April 23rd, actually the 22nd, I didn't check the messages until the 23rd, from an individual claiming to have my camera, and he was using it for his own personal use, and was not going to give it back, and some obscenities, and that was basically the gist of the message.
So you think that somebody who stole your camera called you, knew who you were, so they had to have been at the function, or they had to have known you. Is that right?
I returned to the bar that it was stolen from and put up a flyer outside the bar and inside the bar, talked to some of the bartenders and the people who may have been there. And on that flyer, I offered a reward for $200 for the return of the camera, no questions asked, and
Put your
left
phone
my
number.
cell phone number on it.
I see. So anybody could have walked in and taken that number
Yes.
and called you,
Yes.
whether they stole the camera. I'm not suggesting to you that you stole his camera. I'm suggesting to you that you were a jerk. It's your voice, Mr. Silver, on the tape. That's you.
I assume responsibility, even when I called
Perfect. Perfect.
just for the
And
fact that it came
perfect.
from my phone, Your Honor.
Perfect. Listen to me, Mr. Silva. You made the phone call. She knows you made the phone call.
Your Honor, she doesn't know that.
Sure she does.
She doesn't know
Sure
that.
she does. If you would have taken a look at her face before when he took out the machine to play the machine, fortunately, we recorded her face.
Well, I think that you...
Fortunately, we recorded her face, Mr. Silva, so you owe him an apology.
I disagree with that last
You
statement.
owe him an apology.
I already apologized to Mr.
Good.
Harris.
Mr. Harris, you don't have sufficient proof that Mr. Silva was anything other than drunk and acting like a jerk that night and acting stupid. We have succeeded in displaying that to probably 10 million people. You may feel satisfied, sir, but as far as
Thank you very much.
recouping the cost of your camera, I can't help you with that, Mr. Harris. Got it?
Yes.
Case is dismissed. That's
Thank
all.
you.
Please excuse me. Step out.
He wanted to take a little bit further, so he did.
That was the only lead I had to go on as to who had it, so I was going on that evidence.
This owner, Sheila Garza, is suing her mother, Lois Stevens, for the cost of plane tickets and for a refrigerator she sold to her.
Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Now, this is case number 154 on the calendar in the matter of Garza versus Stevens. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Ms. Garza, the defendant is your mother.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, you sold your mother an old refrigerator for $150. Mother agreed to make payments on that of $25 a month.
That's correct.
And she did not.
Correct.
Then it is your claim that you purchased airline tickets for your mother to
Yes.
go to some family function. What
My
kind
sister
of
was
function?
getting married.
And where did you have to fly from and to?
From Spokane to Austin, Texas.
And it is your claim that your mother asked you to purchase the tickets for her with an agreement that she would repay you?
Correct.
She did give you one payment?
Yes, she did.
But then stop payment on that check?
Correct.
$70. Your mother says that the refrigerator was an old one. You were going to throw it out anyway, so you agreed to give
That's
it to
not
her.
her fault.
And the tickets were gifts, even though she gave you a lot of money, including $500 in cash. Is
No.
that right?
Yes,
That's what
I
you're
did.
saying?
Yes.
Okay. So let's get to the refrigerator first.
Okay.
Were you getting a new refrigerator?
Yes, I had new appliances purchased for me in January, the first
By
week of
whom?
My mother-in-law bought me new appliances for Christmas. I was going to sell my old refrigerator in the newspaper for $200. My mom asked me, since the apartment she lived in had a lousy refrigerator, she asked if she could buy our old one from us for $150. She'd make payments. I said, okay. And we delivered.
That didn't happen?
No, it didn't.
Well, why don't you tell me your version of what happened?
Yes, Your Honor. She had offered me the refrigerator because she knew my fridge was bad. And she said she'd sell it to me for $50. And then when her and her husband brought it out to the home, my son helped him bring it into the house. And my son and her husband went into Justin's room, and they were talking. And he says, well, Sheila wants $50, but we just want to get rid of it. We're going to get rid of it anyhow. That was the end of it. And then I went up to her Mary Kay party, and something was brought up about the fridge. And I says, oh, wait a minute. I think you better have a talk with Rick. Him and Justin were talking, and Rick said he was just getting rid of it anyhow.
That's
Okay.
not true.
That was the
All right,
bottom
so
line.
then let me dispel that for you, Miss Stevens. You had an agreement with your daughter to buy the refrigerator.
For $50.
That was your agreement. The fact that her husband may have told your son, we were going to get rid of it anyway, that does not vacate your agreement. You still had an agreement. And your daughter says it wasn't for $50, it was for $150. Now, Ms. Garza, is it possible that you made a mistake, that it was $50?
No, Your Honor. It was a Kenmore side-by-side. It was a nice fridge. I was just originally going to get a new dishwasher. There was a good deal going on in January for a fridge as well, matching fridge. I would reimburse my mother-in-law for the new fridge, and I was going to put our old refrigerator in the paper for $200. She wanted to buy it.
Okay. I believe you. Now let's get to the tickets.
Okay.
Tell me about how that came about. Your sister is getting married in Texas.
Yes.
Your mom wants to go.
Yes. My brother was supposed to walk my sister down the aisle. She had nobody to walk her down the aisle. My mom claimed she was not going to allow my brother to go if she could not go as well.
Well, exactly what did she say to you?
She said that I'm not allowing Justin to go if I can't go too. I don't have the funds to go. On the 7th.
7th of what?
Of April. I called the Southwest and reserved 2 round-trip tickets for them. Went down the very next day on the 8th and purchased the tickets. I kept the tickets until the day before we left. Said, Mom, these are the tickets. Where's the payment? She said she'd pay me $70 a month.
Just a minute, I didn't hear you make an agreement with her.
Well, it was over the phone. She had said, I will pay you $70.
Sure, all I heard was, let's go back, Ms. Garza.
Sorry.
All I heard was she said, I'm not letting him go unless I go too.
Correct.
And then you hopped to, I went and bought the tickets.
Sorry. She had said that, you know, she was going to try to come up with some money. During that time, we had talked. She said, I can't come up with any money. I've tried all my resources. Can I make payments to you? I was very leery at first, said no, because you still haven't paid me for the refrigerator. Talked with my husband, and he said, well, if she's not going to let your brother go. My sister was very upset because she'd already bought the tux for him. She needed him there. I asked my husband, honey, can we do this? I called her. She said, yes, I'll pay you $70 a month. I will write you a check in advance for a payment. And when I got back from Texas, she had put a stop payment on that check.
Can I see the stop payment on
Yes, you can.
Why did you put a stop payment on the check, Ms. Stevens?
Well, the morning that we was leaving from Austin, she had asked me for $20 because she knew that's all I had to my name because I'd lost our round-trip tickets to come home on.
Which I had to repurchase new tickets for them to come back on.
So then she's, oh, I need that money. I said, well, Sheila, you know I broke that 20, you know, to go to the zoo yesterday. And before we left San Antonio, I had wrote my daughter, I have the check here, for $145 because she said, Mom, don't worry about it, we'll get you home. And I says, okay. So I wrote this post-dated check for her to cash.
Which daughter?
Melinda, the one that got married. The one that got married in San Antonio.
Your Honor, that's a wedding gift.
This was not a wedding gift. I did write wedding on it, but it pertained to the wedding and getting home and everything. You know, I just wrote it down there. But this was for our ticket, part of my ticket to get home on. But then, whenever I told her I did not have the money, she called me I'm sorry. She called me a...
That's not true.
And I was just totally... And it's not the first time she's called me numerous names. She keeps me away from my grandchildren at times and everything.
Ms. Stevens, what does that have to do with stopping payment on the $70 check?
Because of her calling me a... She
well,
numerously...
that may wash in a family,
yes,
but it doesn't
you're
wash
right.
in court.
She numerously just degrades me.
Ms.
Calls
Stevens?
me anorexia, everything, and I'm not.
Ms. Stevens, so what you're saying is you agreed to pay her back for the plane ticket, but you decided not to pay her back because she was disrespectful.
Your Honor, I paid her $500. I borrowed it from my ex-boyfriend that we were together 8 years. I borrowed it from him. She came out that morning. I gave her that.
Wait, just a second. You're doing a fast dance, Ms. Stevens.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. She says her mother, Lois Stevens, owes for plane tickets and a refrigerator.
You borrowed what and when and from whom? Let's start with what.
Okay.
You borrowed what?
I borrowed $500 from Roger.
When?
On this 1st.
On the 1st of what?
1st of April. Sheila came out to my home.
Yes.
And I had to keep some of the money and everything to buy him clothes, some clothes and everything to go. And then I wrote her a $70 check, you know, to cover the remaining.
You're dancing, Miss Stevens. Are you sick?
I canceled the check because her calling me one too many times.
Are you saying that you gave her $500 in cash?
Yes.
That is not true.
Just a second. Well, that's what you write in your answer, that you gave her $500 in cash.
If you could
on the 1st. Now you say that Roger gave you $500, but you used most of it to buy clothes and other stuff.
No, I used my money for that. I'm sorry, I misstated it.
You misstated it because
yes,
it's not true. You
No,
never
it
gave
is.
your daughter $500 in cash.
Yes.
Because if you... Hey, listen to me. You never gave her $500 in cash, madam. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you gave her $500 in cash on April 1st, on May 1st, you wouldn't have given her a check for $70. Because that would have paid the entire airline ticket if you gave her $500 in cash, your ticket. So that it would have been no reason for you to give her $70.
No, I did owe her $70, Your Honor. And
from what?
For the tickets and all. And if you could do
Just
it like...
a minute. What do you mean tickets and all? What is that? How much were the tickets? How much was
$474.
Your ticket didn't even come to $500.
Then I missed...
So why would you give her $500? You wanted to make her a present?
Your Honor, I'm mistaken then because I've just been...
You're mistaken. All right, I'll agree that you were mistaken.
Yes, I am.
All right, you're mistaken.
I was just a basket case going to the wedding anyhow because when the kids all get together, they just gang up on me.
It was a nightmare, Your Honor.
এরকম অবস্থা হয়েছে ধরেন কিছু সংখ্যক মানুষ মানে যারা হচ্ছে মানবিক কাজ করে তাদের উপর ভুল বিভ্রান্ত ছড়ায় দিছে যেহেতু ছড়ায় দিছে এখন আর আসলে আমরা যদি ফান্ডিং এর দিকে ফোকাস দেই আগে যে একটা টার্গেট নিতাম এই টার্গেট হয়তো পূর্ণ নাও হইতে পারে এই জন্য আর টার্গেট নেওয়ার কিছু না আপনাদের কাজ আপনারা করেন সে তো নাম দিলেও কিন্তু একটা বিশাল বড় ক্রিয়েটর একটা জগৎ আছে আমি চাই আপনারা কাজ করেন আমরা পিছিয়ে আছি আর এই কথাটা বলা মানে আসছি তো আছি এটা তো মানে এক কাছে লুগায় বইলা চলে গেলাম এরকম না আসি আপনারা কাজ করেন আর মানুষজনে আসলে কিছু মানুষ বিশ্বাস ঠিক রাখে আবার কিছু মানুষ ভঙ্গ করে যাক এটা কথা না আর 40 লক্ষ টাকা কিন্তু চাইলেও আপনি পুরো ফান্ডিং করার ব্যাপারটা মানে অথবা মানুষজনের তাইনা নেওয়ার চিন্তা করে আসলে চিকিৎসা করাতে পারবেন না আপনি নিজেতে কত দিতে পারবেন এটাও ক্লিয়ার করেন
নিজের থেকে বলতে আমার বাবার মানে অল্প কিছু জমি সামান্য কিছু জমি
অল্প কিছু জমি এটা কথা না আপনি কত পারবেন এরপর দেশবাসীর কাছে কিছু চাওয়া যাবে এটা খালি বললে 40 লক্ষ টাকা তাহলে আমি মনে করি এরকম রোগী আরো হাজার হাজার আছে তাই না তাহলে ওরাও তো বলবে যে আমার রোগীটারে দেখো এখন আপনার ক্ষমতা থাকতে হবে এখানে 40 লক্ষ টাকার মধ্যে 20 লক্ষ টাকা আর 20 লক্ষ টাকা আপনার দিতে হবে, এতটুকু ক্ষমতা থাকতে হবে। খালি পরের উপর তো ডিপেন্ডেন্ট হইলে হইব না। আমার কথা বুঝতে পারছেন? 20 লক্ষ টাকা দেওয়ার মতো আপনার ক্ষমতা থাকতে হবে। আর এই এখন তো দেখতেই আছেন প্রেক্ষাপটটা বাংলাদেশে, একটা টাইম ছিল হয়ে যেত, কিন্তু এখন আর হইতো না, কারণ মানুষ ভুল বুঝাইয়া দিছে।
ঠিক আছে ভাই,
এই ব্যাপারগুলোর মধ্যে ভুল বুঝাইয়া দিছে।
20 লক্ষ দেওয়ার মতো ক্ষমতা তো সাথে নাই ভাই, তো যতটুকু পারে হ্যাঁ আপনি
এরকম একটা অ্যামাউন্ট
উনি বলবে ওনার মুখে, ভাই জিজ্ঞেস করছে যে আপনি কতটুকু দিতে পারবেন, ওনার সাধ্য অনুযায়ী যতটুকু সম্ভব ততটুকু কথা তুমি বলবে, তারপরে কিছু যদি ফান্ডিং থাকে ওটাও বলবে।
উদাহরণ দিলাম, হচ্ছে আপনি একটা বিয়ে করলেন,
ঠিক আছে কথা
খাওয়াই পারবেন না, তাহলে বিয়ে না করেন।
এইটা আরেকটা কথা হলো যে আপনার সন্তান কেউ টাকা দিল না, আপনার যা আছে তা নিয়েই কিন্তু চিকিৎসা করতে হবে। এটা এদিকে তো
ধরেন কেউ দিল না, 1.5 লাখ কেউ আপনার কাছে না আসলে আপনি কি করবেন?
আপনার কাছে 20 টাকা আছে, 20 টাকা দিয়ে চিকিৎসা করবেন যতটুকু আপনার সন্তানকে বাঁচানো যায়।
আমার সর্বোচ্চ আপনার যদি তাইলে সর্বোচ্চ হাইট আমি 3 লক্ষ টাকার মতো, মানে আমার
আপনার যা আছে সব বিক্রি করে 3 লাখ টাকার মতো। এইটাই এই কথাটা বলো।
1.5 লাখ টাকা যেন আসছে, এটা বাদে 3 লাখ টাকা দিতে পারবেন।
মানে ওনার 3 লক্ষ টাকা দিতে পারবে, যা আছে সব বিক্রি করে। মানে উনি নিশ্চয় হ্যাঁ 3 লাখ টাকা দিতে নাই কিছু সব বিক্রি করে, হ্যাঁ বাড়ি বাড়ি যা আছে বিক্রি করে 3 লক্ষ টাকা দিতে পারবে।
যেরকম ভাই শুনছি 9 লক্ষ টাকা
অলরেডি ওনার 9 লক্ষ টাকা পিছনে গেছে, চলে গেছে। অনেক 3 লক্ষ টাকা ব্যস্ত গেলে হয়তো বাড়ি যা সম্ভব আছে অনেক ব্যস্ত। বাড়ি গাড়ি তো সন্তানের লাগে মাছ করে চলে গেছে তার পিছে।
এখন ভাই একটা কথা বলি, মানে এমন একটা স্টেজে আমি আছি, মানে বাংলাদেশের মধ্যে সবচেয়ে বেশি বেজালের কোইন এবং কি ভালো দিকে কোইন।
ভাই আপনি ভালো দিকেই ভাই বেজাল বেশি ভাই, না আপনি ভালো কাজ করেন দিকে ভাই আপনি সবাই।
আপনি যদি আমার মাথাতে একটা বাড়ি দেন, এটা আমি কাজে যাই আমগা, কিন্তু যদি কোন যে এই বিষয় নিয়ে একটা ভিডিও বানায় দেন যে আপনার পেজও, আমি দিতে পারতাম না, কারণ নষ্ট করে যে জগৎটারে। আর ভাই একটা কথা কি, সত্যের মৃত্যু নেই।
শয়তানের দল বড়।
জাস্ট খালি ওর একটা সমস্যা যে আমি তো ভাই মানে কি জানি কথাটা বলে যে আমি তো হচ্ছে আমার মানে রেকর্ডের তালিকার দিক দিয়ে সব নিয়ে আসতেছি, জাস্ট কিশোরগঞ্জ এসে রেকর্ডটা করতে পারে না, এই জন্যই সব ঝামেলাটা এনে তৈরি হয়েছে, বুঝছেন? এখন আমি যদি এই কাজ করি এটা কিন্তু 40 লাখ টাকা। এখন এমন একটা স্টেজে আছি, জানি কষ্ট হইব, কিন্তু চাইলে সম্ভব।
বিষয় হইছে
বুঝছেন, কিন্তু এনে আবারও ঝামেলা হইব একটা।
ভাই যাই হোক ভাই, আপনি আপনার আইডিতে না ছাড়েন, কিন্তু এখানে কিন্তু 50-50টা মোবাইল আছে, হ্যাঁ 100 মোবাইল আছে। আপনার কথা শুনতে আপনার সবাই আপনার ভিডিও ছাড়বো, এই আপনার দ্বারাতে অন্য কেউ আসার জন্য এই ছেলের পাশে দাঁড়ায়।
আচ্ছা তাহলে আমার অ্যামাউন্টটা দেন, আমি এটা দিয়া এবং কি মানুষ